apologize, guys. I don't know what's going on. Cool. So everybody knows this. This is where you land when you first get in. So we'll get to this later. First thing I want to do is show you guys project setup. So first thing is we have a standard company template. If you guys have not seen it before, I'm going to show it to you. I did make some minor adjustments this weekend, but by and large, it's what you're used to if you've seen it before. So let's go there. So in order to get to new projects for managers, and every manager here is, including Brandy and Unicole, has this example, SO example 2017 template already in your queue. So I'm going to go ahead and take you to here. So new client comes in, Spin Express. We don't know who the manager is on that yet. But when that manager goes in and starts creating the actual project, you click on new project. Okay, project name, and everyone knows the deal here. So Spin Express, whatever you want to call it. So we can call it campaign 2017. Okay, I don't know how far and how much detail the managers give it, but here's where you select the template. So we're going to go ahead and select the company standard project template, the owner. So this is going to be whoever the manager is. So for this one, just so that way I don't clutter anyone's inbox, me. Project start date, this is important because if you name the start date as such, your timeline will follow that, your calendar, your milestones, everything. So I'm just going to put it for today. This is the part where you guys are talking about how we will know what we're supposed to do. This is where you as a manager can copy and paste the contract deliverables or the proposal deliverables and put them in here. So we're responsible for X, Y, and Z every month. And you can even put more detail in here. Contract ends December 2016. So this gives managers and their team a cue that says, hey, Mario, Tanya, we're coming up at the end of our contract. You should go talk to them about renewal, okay? And you want to make sure that this project overview is checked so that way it shows up at all times. Otherwise, you're going to have to go digging for it. So if you put it up by default, it's going to show up in your project dashboard at all times. Group name, this is also important if you guys aren't doing it, simply because the groups, it's a quick and easy way of seeing which manager is responsible for which projects. And this helps Tanya and I when we're trying to figure out balance in the company. So I just made up these names months ago. I'm Wild at Heart, Tanya's Paleo, Victoria's Hamilton, Jenny's Why Not. Okay, you can change them. I don't care as long as you notify us, hey, I changed my group name to X. So for this one, you can do whatever you want. I don't care. I just made these up. So it's going to be Wild at Heart. Yes. So if you put it in this group and the manager is attached to the lead or the leader of that group, then we can see in the dashboard how many projects are in that group's queue. So if there's too much, we won't give you another assignment. If there's too little, you're next in line. Okay. Billing status doesn't matter because we don't track hours, so don't worry about that. Project budget doesn't matter. We don't track that. We track deliverables. Here's where you can have some fun. So I'm not going to hold you to this because every manager is going to have their preference on what they want to track. But I immediately eliminate, when I come to this customize the tabs, I immediately eliminate pages, bugs, and timesheet. You don't need to see them. They're irrelevant. They're just going to clutter up your dashboard. Everything else is valuable. Okay?
Which ones did you do?
I eliminate pages, bugs, and timesheet. There's no reason for them to clutter up your dashboard because you don't need to track them.
Got it.
Okay? Got it?
Project access, private, public.
I do public whenever I do mine.
You can. That's up to you. It doesn't matter. If you do public, that just means that another group, if they need to collaborate, will easily be able to see it. If not, you're going to have to invite the leader of that group into it. So you can do whatever you want. To me, it's up to the manager. It's pretty clear, right? Now go ahead and add this project.
Yes.
We're done here. So I'm going to add this, but I'm not going to use this as our case study. I'm actually going to go to SO example. So add it. It tells you that it'll take a moment or two to set it up, and we're done. Okay, so once you have your campaign dashboard set up, then we can actually go into, I'm going to show you the example. Let me close this out. It'll let me. Here we go. We get out of SX campaign. Actually, I'll leave the SX because whoever manages it then can just use that. What? All right, let me go to SO example. Get out of here. Okay, and I'm going to go through each one of these line items one by one. Don't worry if you don't get all the notes, it will be up in a few days.
So once you create
Here we go.
the campaign, then it'll show up there on that top.
Actually, this banner right here will just show you the 3 most recent projects you were in. And you can always close them out at any time. So there's a little X that should pop up and you can just close out of these projects. Get rid of these. Okay. So everyone's seen this. This is your project dashboard. If you make the project description default, then it's going to show up at the top of your project dashboard at all times. This project requires the following: Turtle Power, Yip Yip Yahoo, and more cowbell. Okay. And the contract runs to the end of December. Okay. I'll walk you through these real quick. Most of these are self-explanatory, but for those that are uninitiated, here we go. Task status. So this will show you how many open projects you have and how many are closed. Your task managers. These are the people in your project group that are killing the most projects. These are your A-level players. So you always want to congratulate these people if they're doing their job. Overdue, self-explanatory. So if any of these open tasks fall behind, they'll show up right here. Very quick way for the managers to see, okay, we're way behind. Let me get some of my task managers to go ahead and kill these projects. Team status, all of our managers are here. I already added them to this example. So this will show Brandy is assigned to 10 projects. She has 5 due today and 2 of them are overdue. Managers can then say, why are these overdue, Brandy? Milestone status. So I'll show you milestones in a bit, but this is basically, these are not tasks. These are more of, we need to complete phase 1 by October the 31st. And this will show you where you're at with your milestones. Are you done? Are you still behind? Whatever. Upcoming events that you can, we have a presentation for the client. We have a grand opening. We have yada, yada, yada. That's your event section. This is what's responsible for your team today, today's work items. And this is your task progress chart. Okay. Beautiful part about all these, this is just by default. However, you don't like it. Oh, you can't move the project description, but you can rearrange these any way you want. So if your eyes don't like things a certain way, well, do them a different way. I don't care. Okay. All right. So everyone's pretty clear on the dashboard, right? All right. So let's get to your feed. I won't spend much time with this because everyone knows what this is, but just for the uninitiated. Okay. Status, everyone knows this. You can tag people and let them know, Randy, you're behind. Jenny, I'm behind because I haven't got feedback from XYZ. Okay. Your tasks, this is nice. You can assign a new task here and assign it to whatever task list is responsible. Put attachments here, assign your user, put your date on it, and if it's what priority it is, low, medium, or high. Create a new milestone. Client wants a new revised presentation, or we're doing quarterly PR plans now. Well, that quarterly PR plan is going to be due what date? You create your milestone, who's responsible, your date, and your priority. Document. And we'll get to the document section in a bit, but you can attach a document and assign it to whatever folder is responsible for it. Forum, which we're all been exposed to in the last few months with the Samus Ochoa forum. You can do the same thing in your group, and you can create an event. Pretty easy, right? So I don't need to go into more detail. Perfect. Tasks. Okay. So by default, you're going to see this. I don't like this. My eyes don't respond to it. So I like to go to Kanban. Kanban. It's the wave of the future. Okay. First thing I'm going to show you, by default, you go to your priority list, but I haven't assigned anything in this example to high, medium, or low. So I like to go to my task list. I'd like to see everything broken down by which categories they fall into. So here's client development. This is everything that needs to be done before we get into any of this. Okay. Once you get approval from the client, then you can move everything into these categories. So, and the reason I like this is because it's very easy to drag and drop. Is everyone still with my computer? Mm-hmm. Okay, just making sure I'm not lagging too far behind. Okay. So on a development side, I like seeing it this way, so that way I can shuffle things around and I can reprioritize. Okay. And then from here, what I like is when you click on a task in a task list, so client development, right here on the left-hand side, all the tasks in that category show up right here. And what I've done in this example is I've dated it 9/5 to start today, and then I can immediately jump down to the next one, 9/5 as well. My client initial consultation will happen, it's a little laggy, tomorrow. And then from here, I didn't assign anyone. I didn't want to clutter, but you can assign who you want. And I've already attached this client development to my milestone completing phase 1, which is my development phase. Simple. Okay. Make sure I'm hitting everything here. Cool. Sound good? All right, let me get out of here. Okay. So everyone understands this. Once everything is assigned a priority, this is what I like to do on a daily basis. Again, I don't care what you do, but it's just to know that it's there. I like to look at my priority list. I'm not really concerned with my tasks in the task list. I'm more concerned with what priority. So on any given evening or early morning, I'll move things into their category. So I know that today, the highest priority for me is going to be my internal breakdown with my client and with the team, and then getting a press release out. I'm going to move this back, disrupt this. So I knock these out first, and then I worry about the medium, and I don't really consider anything low or uncategorized until it's time to move them over. Cool. Pretty simple. And the other views, I really can't tell you too much about. If you like the plain view or the classic view, that's up to you. I really just don't like looking at things like this, but it's fine. Whatever y'all want to do, just know that those things are available to you. Okay, let's get down to milestones. I didn't go into too much detail. The only milestone I created was completing phase 1 development, but of course the second milestone could be grand opening. Third milestone could be review of grand opening. Any way you want to structure it as a manager. We don't want to be rigid because this thing allows you to be who you are. And if who you are is a little more simple, that's cool. If you're more of a micromanager, be the micromanager. Don't care. Okay. So complete phase 1, the task list I assigned to it is client development because all these things need to be completed before I can complete phase 1. And so then I can go into client development. And it'll show me from milestone 1, all of the tasks that need to be completed. And as you close things down on the previous page, on the task page, they'll start showing up as checked off here. So you and your team can then see how far along development you are. And it'll tell you up here in this little dashboard as well. And you can add more. You can look at it in chart view if your eyes work that way, which I like. It's a little more visual. A lot of bells and whistles. You don't have to use them all. Just use what works for you. Okay, let me get back. And that's it. Okay. And let's just say you create another milestone. Say it's complete opening, grand opening, then you can add a task list that ties into that milestone. And then you can add tasks to that. We need to send out the initial press release, invite the media, we need to book a AV, whatever. Easy peasy. All right, so we move on from milestones. I'm going through a lot. Any questions? Pretty simple, right? Okay, don't get overwhelmed. Calendar. I used to love this view. I don't love it so much. It's too much for my eyes to take in, but some people can work this way. Every task that you assigned a date and a manager, and every milestone you put on here, and every event that you could put on here is all here in your calendar view. Right? I know. And check this out. It's all proactive. So if I move this from the 5th to the 7th, it updates my calendar and it updates my task list. Did not move? It's laggy. There we go. So if you go back to your task list and you check this, the date's been moved. And all corresponding tasks, if you have subtasks, will be moved accordingly. If you move this up 2 days, any subtask you have will be moved up 2 days. Right? It's beautiful. You can also do it with long-term tasks. So like the competitive analysis is going to take almost 2 weeks. You know what? I'm way behind. I'm going to have to move this here. So I'm going to move it to start on the 12th. And it's going to go ahead and move itself to the next week as well. So it's a live calendar, which I love. And here's your milestone down here. Easy, right? I used to, I don't know why, I just don't like this view anymore. It's just, my eyes can only focus on. But if you guys like it, try it. Document section. Oh, events. So that's the final thing. If you guys have client events, things that you can put them here and schedule them and notify your team, hey, client wants to do a grand opening on X date. Pretty simple. And it'll show up on your calendar as well. What's on your brain? I'm always up for a good joke. Come on. All right, cool. Keep moving. All right, so we're going to go to documents. Little bit of a mind shift here. I really want everyone to start consolidating all of their client documents into this, but don't worry, it's not going to affect Dropbox, and I'll show you why. So we're going to go to documents, and the template is already set up to have pre-made folders for you. So when you open it up, you'll see what I mean when it opens up. Where am I at? Cool. All right. So by default, when you open up the folder section, your document section, you're going to have a community outreach folder, development, where all of your development pieces come together, your end of month reports, graphic design, media, and publicity. It's all ready for you. Okay.
Can we change it?
Whatever you want.
It's just not what I would rather have it.
Yeah, I don't care. Like, as long as the folders are set up so you guys can stay organized,
Well,
don't care.
just like per core service, because that's how they're set up in Dropbox right now.
Cool. Okay. So let me show you. Okay. Go back to the top folders. Pretty simple. So if you go into your folders, and for example, you need to put together an end of month report. Now, however you want to do it, you can upload your Sprout documents. You can upload whatever you need. You can also create a new document right here. So new document, new spreadsheet, new presentation.
Are we able to upload that into like a Word though from here?
You
Because
can.
a lot of times we make them into a PDF and give them to our clients, or we print them out when we have
So you upload it like your Sprout document, right? You download the PDF and you upload it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we're making a document, like a typing document on here, can we take that document and upload it into a Microsoft Word?
Yes.
Once it's on here?
You export it, or you can email it as a docx.
Okay.
And I'll show you guys those little tricks. We'll get to the end because those are not as critical. But when we get to the end, I'll show you a few little tricks you can do. So here, just for example, I just want to test. You can create a new document. It'll automatically save in your end of month reports. And when you click new, it'll open up a different tab. Might take a little bit to load. Maybe not. It's called Zoho Writer, but it has all the functionality of Word. It'll export in PDF, docx. It'll export in a lot of different formats that you need.
Is it like Google Docs?
It's very much like Google Docs. Very much.
Nice.
Okay. And a little later, I'll show you the bells and whistles, so that way you can just make yourself a little more efficient. Okay. So we don't have to put anything on here. I'm going to go ahead and close it out. You probably didn't save. I wasn't on it long enough. But when you're on the separate tab and you create a document, it'll auto-save and it'll show up in your end-of-month reports. Cool? All right. So it helps keep you guys more organized in one consolidated space. However, it doesn't eliminate the need for Dropbox. So this is all has to be done. There's a little bit of communication that needs to happen. If you come down here, there's a little button that says Dropbox Sync. And as you can see, I created a development documents folder in Dropbox. It's already there. I've created one in Zoho Docs. Okay. So anytime I create a document in this development documents folder, it automatically saves in the development documents folder in Dropbox. It's seamless, absolutely seamless. And so let me give you an example. Let's go to development docs. I'm going to create a new spreadsheet. Hopefully it boots quickly. I'm a beer, Tanya. Just kidding. Yeah, I'm good though. Good, and it's good for you. Plenty of vitamins. All right. So once this boots, I'll show you really quickly how this functions. how it boots. What's that all about? Damn, loading time is ridiculous right now. Okay. Come on, show me you're live. All right. So I just need to wait for it to finish loading, and then it'll autosave. Wow. Take your time. I know. What can I do? I guess I could close
Share
it
your
out.
thoughts.
No, I don't have any thoughts. All right, I'm going to give it 10 seconds. If it doesn't stop, we're going to move on. We'll come back to it in the trick section. Wow. Connection to server failed. You know what? Let's close it out and let's keep moving. No need to dwell on it. It's not that critical. The whole point is once that document is auto-saved by Zoho, it automatically saves to your Dropbox. No fuss, no muss. So if you need to save a Dropbox or share a Dropbox folder with a client, you won't have a problem. You just give them that link to their Dropbox folder, but you save everything in here in Zoho and it's consolidated, but your client's none the wiser. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It just makes you more efficient. So you're not having to jump from program to program.
But later, if you open up Dropbox, that same.
It's there.
Okay.
It's there near instantaneously. I noticed about a 5 to 10 second lag yesterday. So, but if you're patient, 10 seconds will go by like that. So, all right, let's keep moving. Everyone understands folders, how to sync it. Now you have to sync. I'm going to remind you guys, you have to sync each folder to the folder in Dropbox. So you literally have to go and add a new sync and sync end of month reports to the end of month reports folder in your Dropbox folder. And I'll show you how that works. This shouldn't take long to boot. So you select your Dropbox account, and by default, mine. You select your Dropbox folder. So let's go into clients, drop down. We'll find SNO, SNO example, drop down. We're going to go ahead and sync. Click one more. Okay. The folder's in there. I don't know why it's not dropping. The folder. Well, that's good. Maybe I didn't. Oh, sorry, ladies. I didn't create that one. So what you would do is go to your client, click which folder you want to sync from Dropbox, so development documents, and then click the Zoho folder you want to sync to, development documents, sync the folders.
So,
And, important step. Don't sync once. That's just going to send files from one to the other one time. Sync continuously. So every file you create automatically synced. Start the sync. And it's there. Continuous sync in progress. That's it.
so we're going to move every file from Dropbox into Zoho?
No.
Just
No.
from what we do from now on.
Yeah. So you're actually going to create the folders in Dropbox, and then the folders are already here, whatever you want to change them to, and then just make sure they're synced together and you're done. And it's seamless.
But we already have the folders in Dropbox.
Right. I'm projecting
Sorry.
any new client that comes through the door.
Okay.
Yeah. This is far faster. You speed up the process exponentially by doing it this way. Please. Oh, okay.
So like basically in 2018 is when we should start.
I'd like to start doing it with clients that come on board now.
Well, no, I mean like for old clients because I don't want to use like.
Oh yeah, for
one
old
or
clients,
the other.
and you guys really should be just redoing those folders every year. So I would say any existing old client, we start at the beginning of 2018. But like Spin Express,
Because we have like the way we have it set up now, it's like 2000. We have like their 15 and 16 folders,
right?
And then it starts. Okay.
Yeah, and so in that case, if you create your 2018 folders in Dropbox, well then all you need to do here is you need to resync or sync them to 2018, and at the turn of 2019, just sync them to the new 2019 folder that you have.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So pretty simple stuff. Where are we at next? Invoices and expenses. So I'm going to alert everyone at the end of the month. That could be risky as time goes on as we continue to grow collecting expenses. So they really should be consolidated in real time. If you're on the hook for buying something for the client, if you go to invoices and expenses, you create your expense.
Can you add a file? Like, can they add an image?
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a big fan of having everything organized, and I'm glad. Sure. Nicole trying to catch up with you guys at the end of each month. Imagine if we have 50% more employees, if we have 100% more, and she's tracking down 20 plus. That's tough. So if everything's here, at the end of the month, she can just go in and there's a dashboard you can go to that'll show every expense from every client. We won't get into that. That's more of a administrative, but you can, what project it is, it's automatically populated. When you made the purchase, what expense, don't worry about the expense account. The amount, how did you pay for it?
But I wonder, is that a mandatory field if it's in red? Will they have to select
It might
something?
be. So for managers, for staff, it's always going to be a client expense. Unless for some reason you're doing something,
Like a reimbursement or something?
yeah, notify us. But anything you purchase, whether it's advertising, media buys, anything like that, it's going to be a client expense.
It would be great if everyone can utilize this function as you go, so that way you don't forget.
And this example doesn't have the customer name, but I'll show you in a second. But we'll show you how to do that. Just the basics. It doesn't need to be crazy, just the basics so Nicole has an easier way of collecting all that at once.
I will love you all more.
Okay. All right, so let me move you out of invoices and expenses. So the only functionality you're going to use on this particular tab is expenses as needed. Forms, everyone knows. I'm going to open it anyway. Forums are great for projects, could save you guys a ton of time. By creating a forum post, you can hone in on creative ideas. You can hone in on specific deliverables. For example, let's do grand opening conversation. Cool. Your content, X, Y, Z, whatever the manager or whatever somebody in the group wants to start a conversation about, describe it in the content section, make an attachment, and then make it an announcement if you want to go out to a team or specifically select somebody. Brandy, there's Brandy. Or specifically send someone a note that you want to respond to it. Okay? I don't know where Brandy, she popped up. So this functions just like anything else we've done on the forums, and you can save it. And all of a sudden you have an organized place to have conversations about this one thing, right? Everyone can post replies to it, ideas, images, whatever's going on, but it's badass, right? It's going to save you so much time trying to hold meetings and doing all that stuff. 90% of the meetings we have are useless and can be conducted right here. Okay. Oh, you think I'm kidding. Okay. So pretty simple. Everyone's been using this for a few months, so I don't really have to go into great detail. What I love here, hello. Yeah, man, do your thing. What I love here is you can add a category. This is something you may or may not have seen in our SO operations. I have a sales category. So if I click on my sales category, it'll show me all the posts that are related to the sales, right? Start organizing. It'll help us tremendously in efficiency. All right, let me get out of here. I'm gonna go back. Okay, you can check your views. It doesn't matter. That's aesthetic stuff. All right, everyone understands that. Chat, I like this one as well. I don't use this nearly as much as I should, but I like this. If you don't want to wait and you don't want to meet, you can call a chat session. And we're going to select the chat topic.
Grand
So grand opening convo. I can make it public if I want the whole entire staff to be in on this, or I can select my participants, people that are in this group. These are all the managers right now. Okay, I just want to have a conversation. I'm gonna keep picking on you, Brandy. I just want to talk to Brandy. Okay, so I save it. Brandy gets notified that she's in here, and her and I can have a IM chat specifically regarding the grand opening in this space. No waiting for her to reply to a forum reply, no waiting for anything, just in real time. I want to invite the mayor. You should, if you were in the chat session, Brandy, you would get that instantly if you haven't already got it. Did you respond?
Yeah.
Did? See the lag time.
Oh, yeah.
It's lagging.
So, I mean, what's the difference between this and our regular?
Well, this is controlled. So you can use this for scheduled sessions with the team instead of just starting an IM from nowhere. I like the idea, and this stays archived in this project.
Keep all your notes.
An IM stays archived, but you have to dig through weeks, if not months, in order to get back to where you were. There you go, Brandy.
So
Thank you.
Be like specific to the topic.
Yeah. So pretty cool functionality. This chat session stays archived, and it's immediate.
Okay.
Sound good?
Cool.
All right. Are you still sending? The conversation's over. I'm going to close the session. Okay.
So fun.
All right. Users. Okay. So by default, when you guys use our template, the only two people, because we're admins, the only two people that get assigned to a project are Tanya and myself, which is good. We want to know that a project is set up, and if we want to look in, we can see. However, that's it. So you actually manually have to go in and add your team. Okay. So for managers, it could be every semester you have a new crop of interns. So you got to take the old ones out, put the new ones in. This is where you do it. So the user section. Okay, so add a user. So all the managers I've already been assigned. So I'm going to add SO3 at Samus Ochoa.
Gabs.
Okay. Give her a role. For anyone that's not a manager, assign them as an employee. Okay, because managers will have access to editing, deleting. You don't want somebody going rogue on you and changing project status without you knowing about it.
Gabs.
There you go. So I'm adding Gabriella.
Gabrielle.
I'll get it. So she's been added. She'll get notified, hey, Mario has added you to project example. Go in and take a look. That's it.
So.
And then it's easy when, there she is.
Cool.
And it's easy when she moves on to bigger and better things to go in here and delete the user. Easy. I asked you guys how important is it to communicate with clients. You guys said it wasn't terribly important, but if you wanted to, you could add your client company here. Okay, you want to add a new one?
Sip.
Yeah. Test. You want to add your client contact? And if you have all this other info, it's just a running Rolodex for you. The client will get notified he's been invited, he or she has been invited into the project. They can accept or not. You don't have to. If you don't feel like needing to communicate through this platform is useful, then don't do it.
Also, if your client is not that competent in technology, don't try to add them.
If you feel like email is the best way to communicate, just email. They don't need to be in on all this. But in a little bit, I'll show you a trick when they're like, where are we at with the project? Be like, here you go, dummy. So I'll show you that in a little bit. All right.
I like who they are, their faces.
I say it with a great deal more tact. Okay.
That's his name.
So we all get the user dashboard, right? All right. You can also edit people's roles and responsibilities. If Brandy all of a sudden just became another employee or contractor, you can go in and change her status. But for now, the manager's here. All right. I'm going to go to reports and charts. This is cool too. It's overwhelming, but it's pretty cool. So for clients who say, where are we at? And you don't want to send them a laundry list of bullet points by email, you can just go to your Gantt chart. The Gantt chart will be a reflection of your calendar. However, it's in a way that people understand. Well, most business people would understand the Gantt. It'll show them where the project date is, who was assigned to it. Obviously, these are unassigned. And then it'll show you whether or not it's closed. And if it was closed, these bars would be red. That's it. And you can come here. And you can convert it to a PDF. Download it, send it to your client, and be like, here's where the project's at. Here's everything that's been done, everything that needs to be done, and who's responsible. Leave me alone. If they don't get that, I can't help you. Pretty simple, right?
Don't say leave me
Yes.
alone because they won't
I'll
be
tell
like the
them.
PM group.
Tell them. Pretty simple. And this is also you can drag it out.
Cool beans.
If you need to, stretch it out. Look at that.
Keep it simple.
This is going to take me longer, and it'll be reflected on your calendar and your task list. Let me go back to where we are.
You can edit. Before
Yeah, you can edit. Basically, any page that you go to with a task can be edited. Okay? I really don't resource you. If you guys want to go into resource and plan versus actual, you can. It's just more data to mine through, but they're useful if you're that type of person. The other thing I like is task reports. This is also something you can give to a client. So if they don't understand the Gantt chart, because they don't get it, then you can give them the task report. And again, this is just showing all the tasks that are open. However, if tasks were completed or overdue, there'd be another bar running. It's just a quick visual representation of what's going on in the project. And then up here again, you can switch your chart type. Pretty simple, right? Cool. 38 minutes. This is a lot shorter than I thought. All right, we're done at the end of the tabs. See report, task report. The extras. So this is hopefully clear to you guys. I'll have the video on Friday. You can reference it. I'm going to go into a few of the extras if you want to add a little sprinkle to your ice cream. All right. So there is a Zoho Projects app for your Chrome browser. It's right here, if you can see it. Let me click on it. And it's showing me I have 3. And check it out, ladies. By default, it goes to notifications, but once you click back, you can select whatever project. So let's go to example 2017. I'm going to add a task directly from the tab. Check on Jenny's heart rate. I'm just thinking of my heart rate. I got to check my heart rate in a little bit. You guys have already seen, check this out. So you guys have already seen the task list. I'm going to go ahead and add it to my community programming because I think I'm doing a good service. Who's responsible? I don't know why it's still loading there. I'll be responsible for it. And damn it, Jenny, I'm worried. So it's a high priority here. And submit. Okay. There's a little bit of a lag, but when you go back, I don't know why it's still loading. It's probably my computer. But when you go back to your task list, once the lag time is done, it'll show up on your task list. And you do it all from here. You don't even have to leave wherever you're at to come into the project system. Pretty cool. Let's see if it's there yet. To me, the other day, it had like a 2 or 3 minute lag, but it showed up. And my internet's running really slow right now, so let's see if it showed up. And we won't dwell on it, but it's a nifty little tool to have in your back pocket. You can add milestones, you can assign people, you can start conversations from there. It's really, really cool to have. Okay, it's not here yet, so we won't sweat it. So you just go into the Google App Store, you add it to your browser, and you're up and running quickly. And you just enter in your Zoho info and you're done. Okay, I'm going to go back into Writer. Let's go back into your document section. "41 minutes. We got 19 minutes, and then it only records up to an hour of video. So there's that.
We gotta go soon.
Yeah, we'll be done shortly.
We got 2.5 minutes.
We're almost done, actually. Okay.
Yeah, we do it.
Espérate. Load for me. Hallelujah. I have documents. Show you a cool little function here. All right, I'm going to go to a document I created yesterday, test 2017. Open up, Papa. Right? That feels good.
Hug myself.
This is so stimulating watching this. All right. Yippee-ki-yay. I did that yesterday. I know. I decided not to put that. That would have been just too much. Too real. Okay, so we're going to give this like 10 seconds to finish loading because, technology, and then I'll show you how you can save yourself a boatload of time. You need coffee?
No, I have coffee. I just have to burp a little bit.
You got the burps? All right. So whether you're in Zoho spreadsheet, whether you're in Zoho PowerPoint, and Zoho Word, which is what we're on right now, you create your document. You let it load for 20 minutes. It's my connection here, or it might be all the everything I have running. Come to me, sir.
We believe you.
Maybe I can just do it without it. Maybe not. So there's a little tab here. So when you're done, you're ready for client review, things on it, and you're ready to show it to the client. There's a little button here that says distribute. Okay, here we go. Hey, there we are. Okay, when distribute pops up, you're going to be prompted, and it'll ask you if you want to email this document to somebody. You don't have to leave the page, which is brilliant. Looks like it's loaded. Go to review. Okay, review works. Review, this is where you can track changes and do spelling checks, all that stuff, but we don't want that. We don't distribute. Why isn't it popping up? I'm telling you it works. I use it all the time. All the time. All right, so if it doesn't pop up, no matter, because if you guys go in there and use it, when there's a better connection, a little window will pop up and your document will already be attached, and it says, who do you want to send this to? You just put the email address in that you want to send it to. Your client gets an email from you directly from this dashboard that says, Jenny has a document ready for your review. The client can respond to it, and it'll go directly to your inbox. It doesn't come to your Zoho projects. It goes directly to your inbox. So it's a very, very, very quick way of getting documents to your client without having to go back to your email client, download it, go to your email client, upload it, and send it. It'll do it directly from here. And the best part, you can send it as a Word document, which is important to you. You can send it as a PDF. You can send it as a TXT file. You can send it as virtually any file that's of relevance right from here. You don't have to go anywhere. You guys are losing it.
Well, I accidentally logged off. But I'm back on.
All right, let me see if I put in more content, if it allows me to distribute. It works. Try it. You'll love it. Never want to leave it again.
No, I'm excited.
Beware that for some clients, it may go to spam the first time they get it. I was getting that yesterday. Typically, if they run on like GoDaddy, so if they don't see the file, just tell them, hey, go look in your spam and can you white label it or whitelist it? And next time it won't be an issue. But it's fantastical, plastical. And of course, if you have your appropriate folders, it syncs to your Dropbox, and no fuss, no muss. All right. And make sure, I'm pretty much done. Email from writer, Dropbox sync, I already showed you that. The session's recorded. I'll have it up by Friday with little markers so you guys can skip to things if you want to. Wiki. So Zoho doesn't, they don't do any updates to it any longer. It's basically useless because they're not doing anything to it. So here's the solution. We're going to create a wiki folder in the SO operations project page, copy and paste all the important wiki pages into that. And then from there on, that'll be the wiki page because everyone can access that. And that'll be done by Monday. We're done. Any questions? Pretty good, right? Cool. Since we still have, give me 3 minutes. Let's go to this. Let's go back to the dashboard.
They're trying to have a 1:30, so we have to.
Okay. All right. Are you going all the way to the pod? Yeah, you guys better get going. It'll be recorded, and it's really not super important. Okay. So for managers, this page is also important to you. You don't have to go into the projects folder to see what's overdue. On your home page, you should see all the overdue tasks for your team. So this is everybody in the company since I'm an admin. So as you can tell, we're behind on. We're not even behind. This stuff is done. Victoria just didn't close it, not you. And you can switch this view to what's overdue and then what's due today. And then on this side here, my task, this is what you're responsible for. So this just shows you kind of a really dirty overview, but if you click view more, it'll organize it in that Kanban or that plain or that classic that you guys are typically using. And then this is my overview. So it shows me what's open, what's been closed. We took out bugs. So bugs are really for customer service teams. So if your customer reports a bug, how is that bug been resolved? And then your milestones.
Bye. Thanks,
So-
guys.
I'm going to close it there. Really, it's going to take practice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally we've been using this system for 4 years and I'm just now getting it. But if you use it regularly, it'll become second nature to you. It's just kind of intimidating because they allow you guys to do so damn much with it. But I hope this clarifies things. Yeah. Oh, no round of applause needed. Shit. We just here's the thing. We are probably the busiest, if not one of the busiest PR firms in the city. And this is all anecdotal. I look at competitors, clients online all the time. If we can improve our efficiency by 15 to 20% by just using this, oh my goodness, it allows us to keep more money in the bank, more money distributed to the people of the company. It allows us to deliver more quality, more on time, or even before deadline. So let me know if you guys have any other questions, okay? Cool. And I will be taking feedback regarding the template and the document setup, the folders.
Okay.
Cool deal?
Cool.
Awesome. Zoho's awesome.
Well, I really
They built it.
I like the Word and the Excel. I didn't know they had that.
Yep. Like it's built in?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Google Docs.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
Yeah, no need to jump. My computer.
And we cheered for you and everything.
Hold on. I'm sure there's so